Resident Evil 4 is by far my favorite game of this year so far, just barely passing the Dead Space remake, only because I've played the original Dead Space, and I haven't had a chance to play the original Resident Evil 4, so this was completely new territory to me. Boy, I was not expecting this game to be as fun as it was. I can definitely see why this Resident Evil is above all others. Now, you did hear me right. I've never played the original Resident Evil 4. Believe it or not, my first Resident Evil game was the infamous Resident Evil 6.
Where is he? I need to know.
Jake, let me handle this. Look out!
Looks like things just went from bad to worse.
The one most people blame for almost ending the franchise. After that, I played Resident Evil 7 on day one, and I began to fall in love with this series. Resident Evil 7 was my favorite until I played this. Ever since RE7, I've played RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, and Resident Evil Village. I'm happy to say that I think that this Resident Evil 4 remake might be better than my favorite, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Keep in mind that this footage is very early in game to keep you safe from those dirty spoilers. However, I can say I completed the game fully, and I can say without a doubt Resident Evil 4 has no problems. Let's see how that's possible. This game is a visual improvement on the last one, meaning both Resident Evil Village and the original Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 Remake gives the original a beautiful makeover without changing the atmosphere of the game. They enhance it. Looking at these two side by side, it's not even comparable. It's just like looking at Burger King and then McDonald's. You know which one looks better. If that analogy bothered you, then imagine this. It's like looking at your mom, then your dad. Your dad is clearly hot. Leon Kennedy has never looked this good before. As my favorite Resident Evil character, I feel very grateful that I have a game where I get to look at this stud. The cutscenes in this game look so good that when it transitions from cutscene to gameplay, it genuinely catches me off guard sometimes. I love when a game's cutscenes look as good as their game. As always, the enemies and grotesque things they put into this game have a beauty of their own. That's right, I think they look cute. These enemies and some of the bosses look fantastic. The art direction was not lost here. It was only enhanced with these modern day graphics. What did you guys think of the graphics? Let me know what you think of the game down below in the comments. Let's start a discussion. The game forces you to use its mechanics to learn the game. Whenever the game has to teach the player something new, it will make that mechanic necessary to the next part. For example, the first time you meet Ashley, the president's daughter, no, not Trump's daughter, who he's attracted to, but the Resident Evil's president's daughter. When she joins you in the game, it teaches you how to command her, to keep her close by you or far away during combat. Right after that part, they throw a decent thick horde of villagers your way. Then you have to use the new mechanic you learned to keep her alive. Another good example is in the beginning of the game, when you have to outlast the horde of villagers when you first enter the village. The game teaches you how to manage your bullets, how to fight back, and run away. It teaches you, no, it forces you to survive. I love when games find a fun way incorporating tutorials into the game without being blunt. Like where tutorials say, press the right stick forward to walk, or press B to file for divorce. It's like we already know those buttons. Other than that, it's the good old gameplay loop of scavenging loot and managing inventory space to survive what lies ahead. Puzzles. That's right, puzzles. Resident Evil's classic trope of random puzzles scattered in the environment returns, and I'm not complaining. I genuinely enjoy Resident Evil's weird puzzles where you have to align the shadow or build a statue to move forward. It's a nice break in the regular gameplay loop and allows you to relax, right up until the next scary situation. I don't have too much to say about the puzzles because if you've played Resident Evil before, then you know how the puzzles are in these games. Very random and not applicable to the real life, but it certainly does not take me out of the gameplay. I yearn for it. The Merchant. He's probably the underrated Chad of this game. Whenever you see that purple fire, then you know you're close to safety, and close to some nice prices. The Merchant has more to do this time around as he'll give you some side quests and tasks to complete, to earn more currency, to buy more things, to destroy your enemies with. Anytime I see the Merchant, it just brings a smile to my face. His voice is just so soothing, and it makes me want to buy something.
I see you have an eye for things. Gun's not just about shooting, it's about reloading. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Too bad you can't romance him. I really liked this Merchant. And did you know that you could really click like on this video? You can actually do that for the great price of... what is that? Oh, free! Click now and win my gratitude. As if it's worth something. Boss fights. That's right, you heard me, boss fights. There aren't too many boss fights in this game, but when they do occur, you know shit goes down. I don't want to reveal too much about these fights because you should be the one to experience them. Each boss fight is nerve-wracking and quite tense. It'll deplete your ammo too, so be sure to make your shots count and don't miss. I will say there is one boss fight toward the end of this game that I thought was insanely cool. Let's just call it a knife fight. Learn to parry, kids, or get fucked.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Leon Kennedy is one of the coolest video game protagonists there is, and I'm happy to know that now. I never got to play the original Resident Evil 4, so I never believed that he was that cool when people said he was. But I was wrong. Back in RE2, Leon was just a rookie and new to this shit. He was pretty cool then because he was able to take on the chaos that was Raccoon City. But Resident Evil 2 Leon is leagues behind this Leon. Leon Kennedy is a badass trained by the military. The way he melees enemies is by doing a spin kick. A flawless spin kick, like a ninja. As well, his calm one-liner demeanor throughout the game has been joyful to witness. He's just a cool guy. What can I say? Ashley. I personally thought Ashley was going to be pretty annoying. However, she's a delight to have around, and seeing her attitude contrast to Leon's was pretty funny. One thing that was cool is that you can actually see Ashley progress from just a young rich girl to someone who's not afraid and kicks a bit of ass herself. It's nice to see their relationship progress and for them to bond a bit by the end of the game. Luis Serra. I really like this guy. He's pretty cool, and I personally couldn't tell if he was going to be a bad guy or not at first. He may come across as annoying in the beginning, but he definitely grows on you. I've heard that he's much more of a character in this game, rather than a caricature. I can't say that word. Caricature. Kakarot. Anyway, he's more of a character. Especially during the second half of the game, when you get to see a bit more of him. Anytime he was on screen, it was nothing but joy. Ada Wong. She's alright. She's pretty cool and badass. She's used very sparingly, and didn't pop up too much. However, when she did, she and Leon do play off of each other pretty well. They made it hard for you to trust her, which is what they intended, and pulled off. I could never tell if she was going to help Leon or get us killed. I will not speak too much about any one specific bad guy, but there were definitely some that were better than others. However, all of them served their purpose. It was cool to see Ramon Salazar remade. I've only seen Ramon in memes and meme culture over the last several years, but it's finally nice to meet that little bastard face to face. Ramon Salazar, what a weird fucking Osmund Sadler, served as the perfect B-movie tier villain. He's just some wacko that wants you to accept his gift. That's pretty much it. And Leon decided to say no to that little gift. Jack KRAUSER. Jack KRAUSER kind of threw me off a bit because I'm not sure if I was caught up with the Resident Evil lore to know who he was prior to the game. However, I did enjoy any time we would meet and to see him and Leon face off. There were a few others, but those were some of my favorites. Resident Evil 4 probably won't blow you away with the story. However, it will keep you very entertained by some of the action set pieces. This was the perfect B-movie plot to go along with this S-tier game. In conclusion, Resident Evil 4 is now my favorite Resident Evil, hands down. The story was serviceable for the gameplay to be top tier. I had a lot of fun interacting with all the characters in this game. I didn't have a single problem while playing this game. The campiness fit the story that it was trying to tell, and it was quite self-aware as well. This game was perfect for my playthrough, and I hope that Resident Evil can capture what was special about Resident Evil 4 in their next game. How about for you? What did you think of the game? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. In the meantime, I'm going to try some Hogwarts Legacy. Wish me luck with that, gamers. I'll see you next time.